Man, let's get it in, family. There's early hours of the morning, literally 2 a.m. over here in the UK, and we're doing a quick live stream. And the reason why we're doing a quick live stream is because we need to give thanks and praise, okay, to the forces that be. Ya Radwana. Okay, for the fact that we have got lights back on, we've got electricity, we've got Wi-Fi, we've got phone, we've got all of the wonders of first world countries, right? We literally went into the dark ages, and this has literally affected Gabs. I've got Gabs here with me as well. This blackout thing, right, is affected pretty much the whole of or not whole, but a good portion of East England, right? East Anglia.
Yeah, East England. Yeah, a good portion of East England was basically in darkness through some power cut, which we're still yet to know what happened. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, all right. So let me know, family, if you're in the UK and you have been actually affected by this power cut itself. Let me know. Let me know. We got Neb up in the building buzz right now, man. Gabs, let me know, man. Let Neb know what you said to me. Yeah, when you hollered at me earlier on.
I was just like, yeah, we said you got Neb on the show. I could already hear he was dropping some form of medicine. Some form of medicine he was dispensing, boy. I was trying to race home quickly to get on and listen, but by that time the power cut had tuned in. But that's why I'm just excited. I'm gassed now. I'm here now. I'm ready now. I want to hear what you got to drop.
Yeah. I gotta walk my wife to the store. So if y'all can keep a conversation up for 15 minutes, I'll be back if that's okay.
Come on, baby. We here. Boy, I'm here. I'm here. I think the power cut put some electricity in me, so I'm up. I don't know. What you saying, Kalam? What you saying, bro?
I'm gonna be here for like.
Go ahead, brother.
To be real, I'm gonna be here for like 20 minutes, yeah, solid, right? I'm gonna be on here for 20 minutes solid. But you know me, at these hours of the night, yeah, I usually have about 2 hours worth of study time before I sleep. You know, them ways there. Like before I go to bed, I do about 2 hours worth of reading and studying just to get me like good, right? So I'm gonna try to do some studies, right? After, but if you guys are on here to just keep me company, I'll try my very best to stay up. Cheers. Let's do this, baby. Let's do this.
All right, so
I'm gonna quickly
so I can hurry up and be back. Or
hurry up.
All right. I'll mute my mic.
Okay.
So will you want me to start where I left off at, or?
No. We're just gonna have a discussion. We're gonna have a discussion. We want to save that presentation a little bit later on for another show.
Okay.
Show.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, man. We had Netched Neb on, dropping those power bombs, right? Real power bombs. Very interesting. I can't wait, to see the response from Asai and Hotep. I can't wait to see the response, what the rest of the community is saying, what is Amun Ra squad saying, what's Team Osiris. Team Osiris, man, stand up, what you guys are saying as well. We want to know what the community in large, those people who, ascribe to Kemetic culture or Kemetic philosophy, learning the language and all that great stuff. Okay, those people who are interested in Egyptology, let me know, right? Because this is some groundbreaking, some things like I'm like, wow, Netched Neb has really got into the archives for this. He's gone into the archives to get the first attestations of when the word was being used, how it's being used. So absolutely powerful information. And again, it's going to be really niche for those people who's really interested and concerned with this topic, right? But for us who's we chase knowledge, we chase wisdom, right? This is just, as I said before, this is absolutely riveting for us. So what I'm going to do right now, Gabs, as Netched Neb has gone off, right? We can open up, we can discuss. I think we should just try to keep it Kemetic focused, right? Try to keep it Kemetic focused. And yeah, let's just speak a little bit. But remember, I gotta go soon. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to spend about 20 minutes up in here. I'm gonna have to go do some reading, sleep. I'm up tomorrow early, kids and that. So let's do this.
Yeah, it's peak. Do you know what I would have? Yeah, it was good. Someone like Net and Neb, having someone like Net and Neb on the show, man, because this would be a chance for our Israelite brothers, people like Ezra, and some of our Christian and Muslim brothers. This would have been the chance, and even the atheists actually. This would be a chance for them to ask some questions, pertaining to the Medu Neter and things that they want to know. When you got a brother that knows his stuff, you could already see he's dropping some bombs there, on the previous show. This is a pivotal time. You got to utilize these time to try and, ask the brother some questions. Questions that you might have been, that might have been pondering on your mind about Kemet. What's it about? All the stuff that you hear Brother Kalam mentioning, but for some reason you don't retain the info because it's from Kalam. But all these type of things. These are the things that people should be coming on and be waiting and waiting. Oh, who's in? I don't know. I can't really see the chat yet. Who people? Anyone in that can join in the panel?
Yeah, it's not many people that's watching right now. It's late o'clock at night, right? But I'm sure if they hit up the like button, okay, or people let others know that we're live for the next like few minutes, right? 20 minutes, right? Like, let people know, like, don't miss this one. Don't miss this. So we've got Lexi, the Queen Lexi's up in the building. We got Omar's dad up in the building, Telescope, and as well as Kim Royale is up in the building as well. So, not many of the usuals are actually tuned in right now. It's late o'clock. We've got a few tuned in. Lexi. All right, let us know, family, if you're in right now. If you're tuned in, drop us a little quick comment. Let us know that you're here. All right, so we've got CA Levy. My mic. Uh-oh, what's going on with my... All right, we've got CA Levy. DFTT, Don't Feed the Trolls, is up in here as well. Any new ones? Any new ones? Let me know, man. If you're new in here, or if you're here, let us know that you're here with us, okay? Let's get it popping. So, yeah, earlier on was discussing Kemet. What does the word Kemet mean? We was going into the root. We was going into how it's been utilized and so forth. Like, very interesting information. But I want to get deep, man. Come on, where you guys out there, man? Gabs, what are you saying? What do you want to talk about, man? What do you want to talk about?
Do you know what? Yeah. I know you wanted to get into the Kemet, but there was one thing that I was looking at.
Let's do it.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, nah, there was the show that you did the other night. I think it was the Christian topic. It was with brother Rich Kid, Paperboy. Who else was on? Rich Kid, Paperboy, Sarah, and Tequila Watch. And I think that was with regarding Jesus and stuff like that. Yeah, nah, that was a big show. I was actually stressed out that I missed that show, man, because you know me, I love getting into that whole Jesus thing. What I was gonna ask, I was thinking, because I know you wasn't really on it. What did you think of that? What did you think of that little bit, that little show?
That show went on for like 5 hours.
Yeah,
I think I done like 2 shows before that for like 2-hour shows, 3-hour shows, bruv. Like, I think I switched off after like 2 hours. I was gone. Yeah, but I know we have Rich Kid was holding it down, was dropping. I know he's dropping some stuff, but I was gone, to be honest. So I couldn't even tell.
Oh, so
right? But you're gonna let me know in a hot second. Let me just quickly say to money is poor, money is poor, knowledge is rich. He says no one can read hieroglyphics. So what the are you babbling? I don't know about that, family. I think a lot of us, can actually read. Okay, we're able to read the hieroglyphs. We're able to, there's a whole there's a whole science to it, right? There is a whole field of study where this great work has been put forward. Earlier on, he showed, Nechanev, that is, he showed the various books. What's the word? Manly? I can't remember the guy's name. He showed that one. He showed, Gardner's one. He also showed James P. Allen's book. These are grammar books, like any other language that you need to learn. You have to go through grammar. Those of you guys know about 7 liberal arts, right? We always talk about grammar, which is part of the trivium, right? Grammar, logic, and rhetoric, right? So you've got grammar books. That's there. That's teaching us the alphabets, or the is that the right way of saying it? Yeah, the alphabets and all the ways there. And he's teaching us morphology. He's teaching us syntax. It's got the lexicons, all of this great stuff. Like, there's been hundreds of years of academia, research, theses, like dissertations, has been pumped forward into the language that we are able to read. There's no problem. Like, I'm pretty sure you can, put up a sentence in hieroglyphs, right? And then ask 10 different people, okay, to translate what they're reading in hieroglyphs, right? So you could do a blind test. Just get a short sentence, a short paragraph, a phrase even, right? Put it up there and say, okay, if you say you can read the hieroglyphs, yeah, let's test you guys, right? Let's test you. Put it there, get about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many different people that you can get, right? And say independently, tell us what that says. First person, record that. Second person, third person, fourth, etc., right? And then just collate that information and see if they're actually saying the same thing, right? And if one is going wild crazy compared to let's say the 4 or the 9, right? We now have to check on how they're utilizing the hieroglyphs, or how they're translating the hieroglyphs, right? But quite clearly, there's a lot of us out there, including myself, that can actually read the hieroglyphs, okay? Shouts out to the Saber Reggie. He can read the hieroglyphs. Saber Reggie, we've gone out there, America, gone into the museums, right? And, we're being tested in the field by Saber Reggie, right? Going through, looking at the monuments, transcribe that, transliterate that, translate that, right? That's Saber Reggie, saying this to us in the field. We're there doing it in real time, right? So he's ticking us off like, yep, Kalam is a Saber. Kalam could read hieroglyphs. Kalam could teach hieroglyphs. Kalam could do this, right? And that's how we know we can test each other to see if we're on the same, board. Botep. You've got Ojawu. You got, the Magi, archers, arrows, all of these great individuals, right? You've seen us time and time again on like long shows. Necheneb, right? You've seen us on these shows. Asar MK, right? You've seen us actually translating the hieroglyphs. It's not like something that's mystical or magical. No, we can read it. We actually can read it. We put in the time and effort and energy to learn this science. And again, right, it's not as easy as any other language out there. For me, I think it's even more easier, right? But should I say it's more time consuming, right? We've already spoken about this. There's literally over 750 hieroglyphs, right? In one period of time. Remember, there's different periods of time. There's Old Kingdom, there's Middle Kingdom, there's Late Kingdom. There's there's different scripts, right? You got hieroglyphs, then you got demotics, then you got cursive hieroglyphs, then you got heretics, then you got later on where you have Coptic and so forth, right? A lot of us salute to Jonathan Owens, the Magi. Like, we've studied together. We know that, we've learned different languages, different scripts, such as the Coptic and so forth. We know we can test each other to see, yeah, all right. Salute to you, G. You got it. So we got it. There's no question if we can read the hieroglyphs or not. We got it. Middlesex my saying, big up, G. What's good? Long time no see, man. Where you been at? Yeah? Oh, man. So yeah, let's get into this, okay, family. Remember, if you got any questions here, please just tag Titans TV, ask us some questions. We're going to be bouncing off you guys, right? We're going to be getting the energy off you guys, and we're going to be reciprocating it. So make sure you ask relevant questions. All right, Gabs, jump back into that. Let us know some of the topics that was up on the show.
Yeah.
Let's stimulate each other's mind.
Yeah, so on the show, It was regarding, well, brother Sarah came on, and he mentioned to Paperboy about Jesus, and he went to, I think it was the book of Matthew, where Jesus is talking about the end time prophecies. You know, the end time.
Matthew 24, Matthew 22 or something. I remember hearing something like that. Go ahead, G.
24, and obviously Paperboy, I know, and then obviously Rich Kid or Takia Watch put it up on the screen, and the brothers read it, you know, and they said that this generation shall not pass, you know, till all these things that happen. So Sarah asked the Christians, like, okay, what does this mean? Can you explain? And you know, Paperboy, Takia Watch, and I forgot someone. There was another person on there. They all couldn't answer. They said basically they didn't know about that verse. They hadn't done no research on that verse, so you know they got to check up on it. So obviously to the brothers, it looked to the brothers and obviously the Muslims that was on the panel, it looked like a checkmate. Like, hold on, what do you mean? Do you know what's this about? Do you know what I mean? And brother Isa was on. He was on there laughing because he obviously they was talking about the whole drinking of poison, Mark, you know. And what's the brother's name? Theo. Is it Theo? That's the Christian brother, Theo, Hebrew Israelite brother. He was putting himself in some contradictions because one minute he was backing the brothers on the New Testament, and then when that Sarah mentioned Matthew and brought it up on the screen, he was the one that said he didn't know about it. He said, well, you know, we don't know who wrote the New Testament. And it's not, even though, and another thing he said is the words that was in red of Jesus. So he said those words weren't Jesus's words; it was someone else. So it got tense. It got real tense. It got tense real quick. Bro, it got tense real quick. You know, I was sitting up for that. When I heard, I actually had to sit up and look into the screen. I was like, no way. Let me rewind that and just hear this properly. The brother said, yeah, some of the verses and some of the things in the New Testament has been added, and it's not the words of Jesus. And even Face of Yah, he even subscribed to. He said, yeah, there's some writings. He's like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Gabs. He said there's some writings in there that's just they've been added. It's not Jesus' words. So I'm like, so then what do we do then? Because you know, the Muslims have been saying the same thing, like, you know, the book is corrupt. And now you guys are out here verifying, saying that, yeah, this is not Jesus' word, but it was tense. Do you know what I mean? But one thing I did get from as well, because I saw that brother Isa was laughing, a couple of the Muslims was laughing, but I was like, right, to be fair, it kind of puts everybody in the same bracket because, you know, brother Kalam, the Muslims in the Quran, they believe that Jesus is it, the Hadith or the Quran, where they believe Jesus is coming back to judge or something.
Yeah,
Isa.
yep. Hadith and then intimates it or applies it a little bit, or you could read into it. You can do eisegesis and get that, yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why I was saying like the brothers really and truly shouldn't be laughing because it kind of puts them all in the same cooking pot because, you know, if the Bible's talking about Jesus coming and supposedly he's already come and gone, yeah, then what does that say for the Islamic text? Because, you know, Isa's supposed to be coming back to do the judge, the same thing like he said he was going to do in the New Testament in the Bible. But if we're now saying that, you know, if it's proven that now he's already come and gone, and that these things have already happened, then, you know, they're both, all religions are kind of in the same boat because they're waiting on someone that's supposedly already come and gone. Do you know what I mean? So that's the bit that I wanted to chime on. So even though they're getting at the Christians, it kind of puts everybody in the same bracket. So yeah, bro, it was 10. And you know, sorry to cut you. And that was him just reading from the generations, because then I could have went back into Matthew again and Luke. And Matthew and Luke, where he said, you know, there's many of you standing here, the same thing, the same prophecy, many of you standing here that won't taste death till you see the Son of Man coming again in the clouds with his kingdom and the angels, bro. You won't die. You standing here won't die, bro, till you see Jesus returning again. So You know, it's tense. The question is if I don't know, you know, if those people are still alive today, I don't know.
Oh, sugar, man like Lazarus. You know, it's only given man to die once and once alone, rude boy. Unless it's the second death, rude. What? Hold on. Yeah. Sugar, there's some walking people around here, bro. There's some living people.
Literally.
Sugar.
Literally.
Sugar.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now I could imagine that show was kind of mad then.
But
You know what? You missed today's show. Today's show was kind of crazy like that still.
Oh, what?
I was, hey, like, bro, come on. We had a show earlier on.
Before
shocking news.
Yeah, what was I saw that,
Shocking.
you know, but that's where I was just about to go football training. Come on, tell me what happened.
Listen, I had to pull up 1-2 scriptures, bruv, on my Salafis, yeah?
Oh, sugar.
And I said, yo, those who follow the Aqidah, they don't know this, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, they always, hey, you know, Allah, remember, I'm only talking about the Hanbali Aqidah, okay? So all Muslims, you're not included, only those who follow the Hanbali Aqidah, especially my Salafis, right? I had to pull up some scriptures to let them know, like, you know, as well as Allah having a face, eyes and ears and fingers and hands and palms and all those great stuffs there, yeah? Guess what kind of hair he has?
Oh,
hair.
No.
But he also has curly hair.
Oh.
Right? Tight curly hair, like an Abyssinian, basically, yeah? It's got tight curly hair. You know, what's the opposite of your head from a frontal view?
What's the opposite of your head from a
And it's also called a head. And it's also a head as well. So if you got your head up here, like, what is the, like, what's the downward head?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying.
So he's got one of these. He's got that. He's got yam.
Bro, I did what? Hold on. Sorry, bro. Are you trying to tell me? Are you talking about Allah here, bro?
Huh?
Is it Allah you're talking about?
Bro, I'm gonna say this is the Hanbali, i.e. Salafi Allah. It's not the rest of the Muslims Allah, but this is their Allah, yeah.
So the Hanbali Salafi, their Allah in their scriptures, what he has, bro.
Yeah. Huh?
Jesus. That's what he has, you said.
Again?
You said in their scriptures, that's what he has.
What's that? What that he has?
Hey.
Come to hell with me, bro. Come to hell with me. Say it.
Well, man has the longish long, everyone knows it.
Bro, we brought it up. We showed Salafi band them were jumping, bro. They're like, yo, it was peak, bro. It was peak. It was actually peak. At Ultra Funky on here, he was going crazy with it still.
Wow.
Bruv, it was hella funny.
Crazy what?
No, they can't debunk it. This is part of their Aqidah. Like, this is written in their Aqidah. This is written in the Hanbali stuff. We actually pulled out scriptures. We pulled out the Arabic. We showed everything, bro. You can't even escape it. Like, Ahmed ibn Hanbal affirms that, yeah, Allah's got, you know, a male appendage. He's got a phallus. He's got a cocky.
For what?
You know,
for what reason?
We can't ask how big it is. We can't ask how girthy it is. You know, because we can affirm the fact that he has got a penis, but we can't ask the hows, eh?
Actually,
you know them ways there. We could say he's got a penis that befits His Majesty. So wow. Allah's got a penis that befits His Majesty, right? According to the Hanbalis, not the rest of the Muslims, only the Hanbalis, i.e. Salafis, bruv. It was peak.
But hold on. You know, yeah. Now that you're saying that, yeah. Well, I'm sure before we spoke about this, I think a while back, isn't there in you know, part of the creation story in the Islamic doctrine? There's a couple creations where God He created man from a drop of blood, and then there's another one for a drop of semen.
Yeah.
You see now. Ready to get up?
Bombos.
Can you get up? Huh? Can you find that? Where is that in? Is it in the Hadith or is it the Quran, bro?
No, that's Quran, G.
Quran ayah. Yeah, I knew. No, I knew. That just came straight into my mind, bro. I'm sure I seen that. Where's Middlesex Omar? I know you hear me. Where you at, Omar? Huh? Peace. Hey, listen, peace to everybody in the chat room. Whoever's up in these late hours, bro. Peace.
Created from a mingled sperm drop. Okay, let me see. Where is this? Let's see if I can get this out real quickly.
Let me. After hours.
Jeez.
Hours.
It was peak still. That last show was kind of peak, man. I'm telling you. Okay, here it is. We're screen sharing. Let's see if I can just type in sperm. Okay, 76.3. We have created man from a single sperm drop that we might try him. So we made him hearing and seeing. Yeah?
Speak of the devil and he shall appear.
Hey.
Oh, man. Man like Omar's up in the building.
You guys are funny. You know that when it comes to this time of night. You get me? You know, get into a funny mood with that. I like it.
I'm out at night. What? You know? Houdini.
Please come out at night. Please come out at night. Listen.
Yeah.
Why are you lying to the people right now, B?
Stop this.
Don't do that. Don't do it, Omar. You don't want us to bring it up again, do you?
It's little sneaky things, yeah. Like saying scripture, like come on, bro. What do you take a scripture right now?
Which scripture?
Saying words like, oh, it's in the scripture, like da 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 da. Bro, if a scholar wants to write that Allah has appendages and this, that, and the third, yeah, that's him. Don't be trying to act like this is the thing. Now you did say it's a humbly thing, but if you're saying it's a Salafi thing, then humbly came after the Salaf. He ain't even a Tabi'in. He ain't even a Tabi'in. I don't think. Yeah.
This is Hanbali. Hanbali is Salafi Aqidah and fiqh. You know this, right?
Listen, humbly.
Hold on. Let's just play back what we did earlier on. Hold on. Let's just see. Let me just see if we got this. Voice, breath. Hold on. Let's see that.
When you right, the Mu'tazilah tried to eradicate that, but unfortunately they lost.
Sorry, Kalam, I don't mean to interrupt. You have to forgive my ignorance. Anthropomorphism, is that like when you assign like human attributes to a deity?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to confirm that. Sorry.
Yeah. So my man, here, read this. Ibn Hanbal then was an anthropomorphist. He affirmed for the divine a human form, right, including a face, eyes, curly hair, mouth, voice, breath, chest, 2 elbows, back, arms, hand with a palm, 5 fingers, fingertips. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get good soon.
Yep.
Legs, chin, feet, soul, physical beauty, and limits, and even shockingly, loins. What did I just say? Loins. Yeah. Let me just make sure that's triple highlight. Yeah. And I was speaking to what's his name? What's the good brother's name? Megatron, because he said something about this before. I was like, yo, right here. So did you know? I'm just gonna ask a quick question, right? To my Salafis, yeah. I know you can't say how how big Allah's penis is, right? I know you can't speak on the how, right? But you do acknowledge that Allah has got a penis, right? And again, I'm not being offensive. I'm just saying to my Salafis, because I know Shia brother, you don't believe this.
Of course, I don't believe Allah has body limbs and stuff like this. We believe that Allah is above all that.
Yeah. Well, Kalam, as an answer, I know that it's definitely a fact. Yeah. Let's not get too deep, G. Okay. And this tradition is found also, yeah, Ibn Hanbal's Musnad 2:330. So if you think we're making ish up, right? Making ish up. After God completed creation, kinship rose and seized God's loin. Oh my God.
Well, let me just say, those Salafis who stand by this view, bro, go look at, for example, the views of
Jeez. So I'm gonna stop it there. Yeah.
Hold on 1 minute.
So
you're saying you have to follow Imam Hanbal's school of thought if you want to be a Salafi.
No, I'm saying if you are a Salafi, okay, i.e. Wahhabi, Salafi, whatever name you choose to call yourself, right? You fall under. There's two things in Islam, really and true, right? There is Aqidah, i.e. your your outlook on what a deity is, how do you define God, and so forth, and all that great stuff. And then also there is fiqh. Okay, so fiqh is like jurisprudence, how you act upon it, and so forth, right? So most of these people, you fall under these two things, right?
Most.
And
so you said the word most now. Now it's okay. Look, first of all, yeah, is it scripture?
Yes, it's hadith.
Well, it's in the hadith where it says that he's got,
Yeah, we just read it. We just played it. It showed you that. Yeah,
you just cut out family.
Yeah, we showed it. Like in the video, I showed you. Okay, let me do it again. Let me show you again.
Just tell me.
In the video.
Just tell me.
Yeah, in the video, we pulled up the Musnad.
Sorry, brother, to cut you. You're reading out the work of Imam Hanbal, yeah?
Yeah, in the Musnad of Ahmed ibn Hanbal, volume 2, I believe it's 332. Sorry, 330. We read out.
You're reading out you're gone, sorry. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying we read it out earlier on. Yeah, go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, you read out Imam Hanbal's writings.
Yeah.
Okay. So then how does this come? First of all, like depending on which conversation you're having, sometimes you'll say only Quran is scripture and anything outside Quran is wildness. But now hadith is scripture, and now it's exegesis is scripture. So I don't know which show I'm catching today. But
you're catching. I'm giving you the perspective, right?
Yeah.
Remember, I prefaced it. This is not what Muslims in general believe in.
But
this is to do with
you're making a blanket statement upon all Salafis, because not all Salafis. Some Salafis will say, "All right, well, I don't follow a particular school of thought, but wherever there's a consensus or the scholars have a majority in something, that's where I lean towards." But the reason why I'm a Salafi, the reason why I'm a Salafi, because I don't basically label myself comprehensively under one of the schools of thoughts. So for someone to even say because someone would just say I'm a Hanbali, but they're not. They're saying they're Salafi, and then hold up, you're saying, okay, well, your Aqidah could be a majority of where the scholars are, but in terms of fiqh, in terms of like jurisprudence and stuff like that, all
this isn't fiqh.
Hold up, all Salafis, are follow Imam Hanbal's rulings of fiqh. Now let's say that's true. Even though I don't particularly think that's true. But hold up.
Or Mushtihad.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Or unless they do ijtihad themselves.
Sure. All right. Cool. Yeah. That goes without saying. But you're saying, okay, they have to follow that school of thought. All right, no problem. Even though I don't agree with that. Even then, when it comes to Allah and his physical attributes, right? That's got nothing to do with fiqh. That comes under Aqidah. So again, you've made a false statement. Because even by your own clarification...
Well, you don't listen.
Huh?
Well, you're not listening. I said this is to do with Aqidah. This is to do with your belief. This is to do with your theology, how you describe God.
But you're saying...
Aqidah and fiqh. And this falls underneath Aqidah. Go ahead.
You said before this, in terms of fiqh, Salafis will follow Hanbali. But in terms of Aqidah, it's in the air. You get me? It's bits and bobs or wherever the consensus lies amongst the scholars.
I never said that. I'm saying that generally speaking, they're
Salafis, Aqidah wise and fiqh wise. Now you're saying, they follow the school of Hanbali. So why are they not just Hanbalis then?
Okay. So generally speaking, remember I said generally speaking, those people who fall underneath Salafiyah or that whole fundamentalist movement, Fiqh wise, you know, they tend to, you could tend to be, for example, on the knee, like doing ijtihad. So, for example, you have Bukhari, who is a mujtihad, yeah? He does ijtihad himself, but he is an offspring or offshoot from the Hanbali school of thought. His teacher was Ahmed ibn Hanbal, but he was adept enough to actually do ijtihad himself. So even though he falls under like the auspices of Hanbal, he set up his own madhab or pre-madhab,
I know,
which
but
is
sorry to cut you off.
so you don't have to be. So hold on. You don't have to follow the fiqh of Ibn Hanbal. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. You're saying you don't have to follow the fiqh now, yeah, but you have to follow the aqidah.
If you're able to do ijtihad, right? If you yourself are able to do ijtihad, you don't need to do taqlid, which is blind following of Ahmed ibn Hanbal, because you have the tools necessary to do ijtihad. Does that make sense?
Why are you jumping straight to Imam Hanbal? Like, that's right?
Okay, let me show you what a Salafi is real quickly. Let me pull up and show you exactly what Salafi is in terms of the Salafi movement, so you can understand what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna share my screen right now to you guys. All right. So over here, you know, it goes in. The Salafist doctrine is centered around the concept of looking back to a prior historical period in an effort to understand how the contemporary world should be ordered. They reject religious innovations or bid'ah and support the implementation of Sharia. The movement is often divided into three categories. The largest group are the Puritists or Quietists who avoid politics. That's like the Madkhalis. The second largest group are the activists. The third is the jihadists. Okay, cool. It matters. Salafis are divided between those who, in the name of independent legal judgment, ijtihad, reject strict adherence to the four Sunni laws of madhhab.
Okay, look. That just proves my point. They reject strict adherence, yeah, to the four schools. Hence why they don't just, it's not strict like, yo, I'm straight this guy, I'm straight that guy. They reject that. It's the flavor, like what is closest to the roots or where the majority lies. Both are roughly the same, yeah.
That's what I said to you. They are mujtihads. They're able to do ijtihad themselves, right? Yeah. So they're divided between those in the name of independent legal judgment, meaning they're able to do ijtihad themselves. So therefore they reject.
You're talking about Salafis. You talk about Salafis that blind follow Imam Hanbal. Is that what you meant to say? And when you said scripture, said scripture, you meant to say Imam Hanbal's writings.
No. Okay. Let me make it make more sense to you. Okay. So there are those, right? Okay. Let me go to something that's very easy for. Let's see where we go. Hanbal. Easy for everybody to kind of understand. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Hanbal. Okay. Early bound by Hanbali fiqh, okay, following an imam. Okay, so here we go. All right, in legal matters, let me see one last one. All right, cool. All right, so in legal matters, Salafis are divided between those, those who, in the name of independent legal judgment, ijtihad, reject strict adherence, taqlid to the four schools of law.
That's
okay, the madhahib. Okay, listen. Don't jump in. Just listen. Others who remain faithful to these, right? Salafi scholars from Saudi Arabia are generally bound by Hanbali fiqh.
Okay,
and advocate. Listen.
Just listen. By Shafi. Go ahead.
Listen. Just don't interrupt. Just listen. Hold your peace and advocate following an imam rather than having individuals try to interpret and understand scripture alone. All right. So I'm just making it showing you something, right? So there is those who follow, right? They do taqlid. Hold on. You've got to understand first. There are those who do taqlid and strictly follow the Hanbali fiqh, right? That is the majority of that. There is one. How can I put it? His one portion, right?
Yeah,
they do that.
I like it.
Listen, because I made that clarification right at the beginning, right?
You playing the game a little bit.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish so you can understand, right? Then I also said, yeah, there are those that the distinction is those who are able to do ijtihad, meaning that which Hanbali and the other four imams were able to do, okay, utilize their own minds to create the construct and the usuls or the principles of law. Like somebody who is very much so adept or very much so learned and know the hadiths, they're able to do ijtihad themselves. So it's those two, it's split between those two. But the majority of them are actually Hanbali by fiqh. All right?
By fiqh. Okay. So we're back to the beginning of when I said we're talking about the fiqh side of things.
No, but what I'm discussing is not. I'm just now having to go into.
Hold up, my brother. I know what you're saying.
Okay.
But you said that there's a group of them, or what? Well, let's just get it straight now. Saudi Arabia, one small country, not half of Africa, not load a chunk of Asia, not England, not Muslims in Europe, not Muslims in the UK, just Saudi, and people got their. I mean, even people in the park that are Salaf, that claim Salafi, don't really rock with them. So it's not like you putting a blanket statement on all Salafis, you get me? But when the waters are starting to get muddied, I like to get it more clarified. Okay, when you say scripture, what are you talking about? Now you said it's hadith. Can we look at the hadith where the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that?
Oh, you want to see it? Oh my God. Brother. I don't even really want to do this, like. All right, here we go. This is the video that I actually showed this on. Let's see, 106. Let's see, where is it? There we go. From the tradition found in Ahmed ibn Hanbal, volume 2, 330. After God completed creation, kinship rose and seized God's loins. All right.
Okay.
There you go.
So what? Let's go.
That's right.
Let's go to it.
Ahmed ibn Hanbal.
Okay. Yeah. It's
okay.
Yeah, but let's see what the Prophet said, and let's look at the chain and all.
Right, let's do it.
We can't just look at hadith like that. We Titans here.
All right, let's do it real quickly because we're doing a show on something else, but let's quickly do that for you. All right. So, right here. Peace.
Yeah, I'm back in the building, so I'm just listening. So, peace, brothers, all of y'all.
Yes.
Peace. All right. So we should really get back to that, man, because trust me, you don't want to get into this, my brother. You really don't.
You're doing it for my own good, yeah?
Trust me.
You don't want to hurt me.
Trust me. You don't
fly, yeah?
I really don't want to hurt you.
Come for you, yeah?
Huh?
I said you don't want me to be scorned and like wait for you, like, you know what I'm saying? Just to jump in and attack you.
Yeah.
Time.
Trust me. All right, let me get back into Neb in a hot second, but like if you don't want to go to, there's the Arabic of it, and so forth.
Hold up.
So we kind of show this up as well.
Okay, so hold up.
And also,
where's the chain? Let's have a look at.
But
hold on a minute. Who's speaking there? Who's supposed to be speaking here?
Hold on. We'll go into it another time, right? Because right now,
just say who is supposedly speaking there, because I don't think that's the Prophet there. I got a feeling that's Imam Humble right there.
All right. We're going to discuss it soon. Trust me. We will discuss it. But let me get back into Kemet. Brother, trust me. You don't want to work.
They call it unsolved mystery, yeah?
You don't want that. Let's go into the brother. We got Netchineb in here. Yeah. And it's getting powerful. Yeah. All right. So let's do this. Netchineb, Gabs, take over. I'll be back in a little while.
Jeez, yeah, buddy. Oh man, it's a shame that I can't see the comments. Anybody in the comment section? It'd be hard for me to see. Omar, can you see the comment section?
Yeah, G. I was just about to write like something like, like I came in, felt no smoke, have motherfuckers running and doing U-turns and shit. Nah, I'm joking. What you say? What you want me to see?
Nah. I slightly wanted to see, but obviously Baba Kalam said he's gonna wait. But Neb's here. I just wanted to anybody in the chat room, if you can see anyone that's in the chat room now,
Yeah.
If you're, you know, from Hebrew Israelite, Christian, atheist, Islam, Muslim, yeah, throw some questions that you want to throw out to Net and Neb, and hopefully the brother can answer some questions for you, even you as well, Omar.
Yeah, I got a question. I got a few questions that I was thinking today.
All right, cool. All right, Ned and Neb, Omar, go then. Throw him your questions, and he'll definitely unmute his mic and answer some questions.
So like, just forgive me, yeah. You know, because obviously I didn't come prepared, but I was thinking this today, yeah. You know when there's a hadith, yeah, that says you shouldn't pray at a certain time, and it's like sometimes it's noon, yeah. More time it's noon, yeah. And I read a hadith once, and it said that that is the time where something is in between the devil's horns. Is Kalim still there?
He might. I doubt it. He would have came on if he was there.
Does that ring a bell to anyone when the sun goes in a certain position and it's in between the horns of something?
Do you
And
know
that is a bad time, or that something is where whoever's in line with that type of situation where the sun and the timing have come together and they're shining on that plot of land. Is there anything to do with that going in between the devil's horns?
Do you know what? I don't know if Nev can answer that. If you can, Nev, unmute your mic, and if you can. But do you know who would have been good for this?
Go
Rich Kid, brother Rich.
on.
He knows most all that stuff there to do with astronomy and the sun and all these little these type of words. He's good at that stuff. It would have been good if the brother was on. He could have answered your question. But
Okay.
yeah,
I can add. I might.
Oh, there you go. Go on there, Nep.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, the brother's right. That's not my lane. I'm sorry. I know a little. Being I'm a linguist, I study the languages. So I study Arabic, the oldest Arabic, the Sabian script. And from the Arabic languages, I have studied hadiths. And in some hadiths, it mentions about blackness. And it mentions some racist ideas about blacks and black people in general within certain hadiths. So I would like to ask you, brother, are you aware of some of the hadiths? Because I can share the hadiths and the sources where they from.
Oh man.
Are you aware of the hadiths that speaks about blackness and black people being evil in the hadiths, and what would spawn such evilness when it comes to black people?
And you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
You're asking me a question?
Yeah.
I thought we was asking you questions, bro.
Yeah, I said I didn't know your question, but I can say in relation to my studies of hadiths.
So you want me to tell you about racist hadiths or so-called racist?
No, I think you were seeing if you know about.
Don't ask me any questions, fam.
No, he was asking if you know about them, and if you do, what do you think the reason for it being there is? And if you don't know, but he said he can show it, I would like to see. To be fair, because I know some people have mentioned this stuff, but you know, a lot of the Muslim brothers have shown that for it to be like weak hadith, weak chains, and obviously not authentic. So, you know, I don't know. I would like to see that. You know what you're saying.
What you'd like to see, but you know, if you really like to see these things, you need to like get someone who's actually like not just a guy who's come on the chat. Okay, now he's the guy who's going to explain to you. Get me?
No, but didn't you hear what he said? He said he studied.
He's saying to me he wants me to explain them to him.
No,
is he gonna explain them to me? If he's gonna explain them to me, then that's calm. Like, sit back and let me listen.
Yeah, that's
gonna start explaining something to you that, like, you know, that I don't fully understand. You get me?
Yeah, I don't think you heard. Yeah, he said that he could show you on the screen. He would explain it.
He said he wants to know my views on it, or like where do they come from, or like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
He said if you knew about it, he said it basically said if you did know about the verses or whichever.
Anyone who goes speaker's corner has heard all of these things, bro. Do you get me? And we've heard what's his name, Gary. You know what I'm saying? Who I saw the other day. He's still alive, people. Yeah, I saw him. He's got hair on his head and everything. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's got grey hairs. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, we know these things. You get me? But it's, you know, like, one thing I get mad annoyed, yeah, when someone, yeah, like ask a question that this deep, yeah, and whoever's on the panel just has to explain it, and then it's like, do you get me? Like, experts should talk. That's why I thought he was gonna, like, I've been thinking of this thing for ages, because obviously we've seen that glyph. Does anyone know? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say the glyph of where the sun seems to go in between those two horns?
The glyph, what, in Kemet you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about a hieroglyph. I thought you were talking about Islam.
No, bro. We're talking to this guy because he knows hieroglyphs, right?
Yeah, Neb.
Yeah.
Do you know what glyph he's talking about? Are you talking about?
I thought he was talking about a hadiths.
What I'm saying to you. Okay, now the confusion's making sense. Okay. When you said ask this guy, I thought this guy, you lot want to talk about hieroglyphs, yeah? And there's something that's always, there's two things I got. This is the first question. The first question was, there's a hadith. Maybe I should get it up, yeah? It says, hold up. Because this is what I was doing while you were talking, but then I kind of just stopped what I was doing because I was curious to see if you were actually like asking me a question on that. But now I get it, yeah. One sec. So why is this thing taking ages just to load up, bro? Anyway, yeah. I think it's Zawal, Z-A-W-A-L, yeah? Zawal, yeah? And it can't be reached. It's peak. I don't know what's going on with that, yeah? Anyway, and that is basically a time where the sun is in the position in the sky, yeah? And you shouldn't pray at that time, yeah? Okay? Yeah. And the Prophet said, yeah, peace be upon him. I'm just gonna get it up quickly, yeah? He specifically said, yeah, don't pray at this time, yeah, because the horns, it's in between the horns of the devil. Hold up, horns, devil. Next time. Prophet. Okay, here it is. I got it. Okay, here we go. Yes, it's narrated in Sahih al-Bukhari 581 and Sahih Muslim 831 that it is forbidden to pray after Fajr until the sun has risen above the height of the spear at the time of the, hold up, this is something else, Asa, until it's fully set. The Prophet, peace be upon him, told us that the sun rises and sets between the two horns of the devil, at which time the kuffar prostrate to it. So I was thinking, so that's the first part. So I read this ages ago, yeah? The Prophet, peace and blessings, told us that the sun rises and sets between the horns of the devil, at which time the kuffars prostrate to it. So I then now saw later on in the future, yeah, I saw a glyph. Actually, no, I watched like a seminar. I swear I watched this seminar with you once, Gabs, like last year.
Most probably, yeah.
And then we saw where the guy was explaining something, yeah. I think it was Bilal Rafiq.
Yeah.
Yeah. One Kemet brother, yeah. I think he's Muslim. But basically, he was explaining this, yeah, in a way. But I could be mistaken, yeah, or it could have been somewhere else, yeah, where basically they was connecting it to this glyph where it looked like the sun was rising. It's like one glyph's where the sun is there, then the next glyph, the sun has gone a bit higher, and then it goes in between two horns.
You're talking about between the two Tekkens?
I'm not sure. Can we get that up?
Yeah, I think you're talking about the Tekkens when the sun's rising above the Tekkens. You know, the obelisk, Neb. Neb, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think the brother's talking about, you know, the glyphs showing, you know, when the sun rises above the obelisks.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's talking about that. He's trying to correlate that with the hadiths where
is there? I might be wrong. Is there a correlation? There might not be no correlation there.
It might well be. Now see, here's how I think. As a linguist, I look into the languages, and I also check Arabic hadiths as well, because that's also is considered part of the Arabic traditional database. So that will be included. So we shouldn't really, as you say, just throw the correlation.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I am not authorized to speak on that topic because I am not knowledgeable in the glyph you're mentioning. And I never studied it.
I just noticed that Kay just jumped in the building. So Kalam, can you like enlighten us? Something tells me no.
Okay, go on. What's the question?
So do you know when it's this hadith, yeah? So they've got a hadith here that says the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him and his family, told us that the sun rises and sets between the two horns of the devil, at which time the kuffars prostrate to it. Does this hadith make you have any reverberations in your head regarding some other ancient knowledge that you may have heard of, or nah?
Yeah,
it does. Okay,
or bring it up. Can you say it once more?
Okay, so let me go again. Shall I post it? Shall I put this in the chat for you? Put this in the chat, yeah, real quizzle. So I don't think I've ever heard you do a show on this, but I think you know. Okay, it's in the chat, yeah. Let's have a little click-see.
Okay. Okay. So we got it here. If you've heard let's get to it. Sahih Bukhari 581 and Sahih Muslim. It is forbidden to pray after Fajr. Pray until the sun has risen over the horizons. To the height of a spear at the time was of noon, when the sun is at its zenith, and Okay, if you pray at the time of sunrise and sunset, it's like praying between the two horns of Shaitan. These times for salat are prohibited. Is this actually a hadith though?
No, go down. Look where the hadith is. It's just where it says the answer. Praise be to Allah. And then hold on, let me go back to this screen. I was looking at the other thing. Yeah. Okay. So look what it says. The Prophet, peace and upon him, told us that the sun rises and sets between the horns of the devil. Highlight horns of the devil or two horns of the devil and put that in sunnah.com, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna come up. Like I've read this numerous times.
All right. So I think I've read it already as well. Let's try to get Bukhari one, right? Bukhari. Two sides, the head of the devil. Two horns of Satan. Okay. So yeah.
So it's quite widely.
You got it. Okay, so the sunrise between the two horns of Satan, which is right here. All right.
What is the barcode? What's the barcode saying, detector?
It's Sahih. It's Sahih over here. I'm not gonna go and do the whole chain to see whether it is properly Sahih and all that good stuff there. If I'm gonna quickly do it. Oh, don't do it. Yeah.
Barcode scan.
Yeah. It's all right. It's not the greatest hadith. It's not the greatest hadith ever.
Yeah,
right?
All right,
but it's all right. So
multiple times though.
Okay, so yeah, so the sun, yeah, basically, the two horns of Shaitan. So yeah, the two horns of Shaitan. So it does say what it says, or between the horn of Shaitan. Okay. So it does say what it says, right? The sun rises between the two horns of Satan. Cool. So yeah, what we'll say for that is this. And of course, we wouldn't utilize the term Satan, though, right?
Okay. But this
Oh.
is the ancient religion, though. So, ooh.
So if we want to get, you know, Kemetic on it and that, let's get something bigger. So right here, as you can see, you have the two horns and the sun rising in between the two horns, right?
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Go back to that, because it even says that the kuffars kneel and prostrate, and then you got someone prostrating there, bro. Or was that just a coincidence?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Well.
Oh shit! Look at the right.
They,
cat that.
yeah. 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 So, you know, we have it. We have it. Of course, you know, we wouldn't call ourselves stuff shaitan or devil, or we wouldn't call ourselves kuffars and all that good stuff there, right? But yeah, there is in, how can I put it? In their understanding, like the Arabs, they had a very similar understanding as, you know, the Kemetics. So they had the concept. If you look at a bull's horn, you know, it kind of represents a set and nebset, or except it represents the two, how can I put it? The two horizons, basically. So it represents the Achet. So this right here, oh, sorry, no, this is better. So this right here is the Achet, right? So these are like two mountains, one representing yesterday, and one representing tomorrow, or just like the two portions of the day. And the sun basically rises and sets between these two portions of the day.
Okay.
You know, and of course, you know, the whole prayer system kind of got changed later on with inside of, you know, Islam. So basically, they used to pray something called, what's the word? Duha, what's the word? Sabah. Basically, they used to do this morning prayer, right? So as soon as the sun rises, they would pray. As soon as the sun sets, they will pray. But because the you know, the supposed mushrik or the pagans and everybody else was praying at exactly the same time, right? Even the Jews were praying at the same time and so forth. They decided to pray just a little bit before or just a little bit afterwards, so it doesn't coincide with the same times that everybody else is praying. So again, they used to pray at midday, right, when the sun was at the zenith. But just so we don't look as though we are like them, right? Because remember, the pagan Arabs or the Arabs of pre-Islamic Arabia, they would do salat. Okay, they were already doing salat. They're already prostrating. They were already bowing. They're already saying Allahu Akbar. Okay, you can find this in the traditions. They're already doing all of these things. So just to make yourselves look like you're different to them, now we're not going to pray exactly when the sun rises. We're going to pray just before the sun rises.
But remember,
we're not going to pray literally
your own
pray just after sunset or just before sunset.
But remember, so, you're doing your own. You remember, you're doing your own interpretation as to why the prophet decided not to do it. You're saying, oh, so just to look, you said these words. So just to look different, it may not have been that family. It may have been a serious misunderstanding with the Aqidah that hence why a prophet had to come. Yeah, because that's the only reason why a prophet will come is the Aqida's gone astray, and they weren't supposed to do that tradition. That was a tradition that was kind of slid in maybe by the devil.
No, the prophet, if you go into the hadith, you'll see that he was praying at the particular time. Right? He was really doing these things. Later on, you will see these hadiths starting creeping in. Like, I'll actually have to send you a.
My bad. So you're saying, hold up 1 minute.
Hold on.
Okay, so you're saying that the prophet did used to do this, but later on, in scholarly works have changed the thing up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll send you the hadiths, the good stuff there when they've now started to change it, and you can see how can I put it, the evolution or the chronological evolution of, we used to pray at sunrise, and then later on, you know, we started delaying or altering the prayers, and there is confusion between Sahabas supposedly and the people come afterwards, you know, whether we're supposed to be doing it at sunrise or just before, whatever the case is. And then, you know, there is these excuses that's now made up that we don't do it at these times because of the devil and because we don't want to appear like the Jews and we want to distinguish ourselves from the Jews and so forth. So then they started make new stuff, new things started to circulate in the Hadith literature. It's a very big thing. I'm just saying it to you right now, and I'm not providing it
No, I hear that.
in the morning. But if I did, you will see the whole thing be like snap.
No, I think I've actually I don't co-sign what you're saying, of course, but I at least I understand what you're saying. Do you get me now fully what you're saying? And you know, I'm willing to actually listen to that thing and that. But salute to that, Kay. Thank you for that. That's crazy. ISIS of all things, you know, the irony of that.
Indeed. All right, so let me tag Neb back in, right? Because I know Neb needs to get it in.
Yeah.
You know, real quickly, family. Oh, sorry. If you guys would like to join us on the panel, okay, let me send you guys the link. Neb, let me know if you want to jump in and speak about something specific, or generally, if you want to open it up for us. Or if you can't speak, I'm just going to read out some stuff that you've been posted. Okay, go ahead. You're available. Talk to us, King.
Oh, yeah. It's whatever, brother. I'm open, man, for questions, grammatical questions, linguistic questions, and things of that. I like the conversation with the brother actually is having. I found an inscription that's similar to the concept of, you know, red beings or beings that are red. They are called decital, and it's stated in the Theban Recision that these red beings, they told the two horns. But in Arabic, it's mentioned as, you know, the devil or however. But we must agree with, I have to agree with Kalam Sepel, simply because we know that the Arab people goes back to archaic Egyptian. The Nubians been going to that region of Syria and going through the region from Ethiopia to across the seas to Arabia, in which they will have shared ideas, borrowed, went to war, you know, combined it community. That's why you see the correlation of a lot of Arabic terms with Medu-Neter. Dr. Job stated that Arabic is actually genetically related to Medu-Neter, half, and is half genetically related to Indo-European. So it had both systems within one system. So, you know, what you're saying is, I was just taking notes of what you were saying and how the brother answered. So, but I'm open to questions, or I'm open to ask questions.
All right. Somebody here called Dilly Dong says, Science TV, is Kemet for everyone? I'm going to open out. Netchaneb, is Kemet for everyone? And then,
oh yes, Kemet is for everyone. Kemet is a African traditional culture and handle itself as other inner African traditional cultures. So we go into the Kikongo, and we find in the Kikongo a practice of the Mbagi system, and Kemet will have function identical to the Mbagi system, because I compared all of the terms, the ranks, the titles, and things of that nature. So it's identical, and that language are identical. So Kemet, the way the Kikongo people seen foreigners, they still were seen in peace, harmony, and they still were treated as human beings. We didn't have a case system where you will below this guy. The foreigners still could have rank, but not be king. So when I look at it as is Kemet for everyone, yes, we taught the world. We taught the Greeks. In Greek history, they traveled in among the Nubians and the Nile Valley Africans, and they became learned in mathematics, wisdom, engineering, building, stone, mining, art, wisdom, war. So we taught that to the human races. So yes, Kemet is for everyone.
Jeez, I like that. I like that. All right, family. So let's get it in actually. So, you know, we've been having this conversation. Do they have any thought? Give me a second. So we've been getting it in for ages, right? We've been doing this for ages, talking about the chem glyph itself, the biliteral glyph, chem, okay, or cam. You know, what we you know, what's the choices out there right now for that actual glyph? And if we had to narrow it down, okay, based upon the evidence, you know, what are the closest, or what has more weight in terms of what does the glyph actually display?
At Pernetter in Institute of Kemetic Philology, we goes by the linguistic analysis of Dr. Jope that was displayed already in the 1970s, which you are aware of the UNESCO event. So we champion that legacy by advancing his work, by adding on to what already was done and compared within the African language comparisons of Dr. Jope with the Coptic and the Douala and Medunetta, and Dr. Obenga's Yoruba and Medunetta linguistic comparative called phonetic regularity. And we must build upon what they gave us scientifically as linguists. So the chem glyph would hold more weight would surely be Dr. Jope's view, because Dr. Jope displayed a grammatical example that cannot be disputed to this day.
And there's a question here from Jupiter. He says, how are the Sumerians connected to Kemet?
False. I have a lot of Kalam said, I don't know my research. I have a lot of comparisons with Sumerian. Sumerian does show correspondences with Medunetta. The only Sumerian work I've seen that shows some type of genetic relationship is the work of Hermstein, in which he compared Proto-Bantu terms with Sumerian, and then he didn't compare the dialects of Sumerian. So I don't rule that as a legitimate historical linguistic comparative example, because he didn't compare the variation, the dialects. Sumerian has dialects, so you must compare the dialect to get the proto sound to compare it with Medunetta, because that's how old Medunetta is. So Sumerian is connected. And Dr. Jope actually stated that the Babylonians was a colony of Nubia or Kemetic or Kemet. So there is a cultural connection in every way. And I do believe that there are genetic relationships. And Bowley shows some, I show some, Dunn shows some, but it's really not, I have not done a complete analysis yet. No one has, of my satisfaction. But there are texts that mention the Proto-Bantu, but you don't supposed to compare Proto-Bantu, which is a fake language, reconstruction. Any reconstruction, you shouldn't even be talking about proto-languages. Proto-languages are linguistic reconstructions. Reconstructions are man-made, so it's impossible to compare a reconstruction with a Sumerian isolate. That's an isolate. So you have a lot of methodological problems with the research that's out here, but there is a relationship.
All right. If you had to shoot Islam or Christian, nah, come on, man. Get some good questions. All right, family. It's actually late for me, right? It's literally 70 minutes past 3 over here. All right. Gabs, do you have further questions? Because you know we're going to continue this off air soon, right? But I I know I need to get to my bed shortly. All right, up early tomorrow, and it's not fun and it's not easy. So, family, anybody on the panel right now who's with us, do you have any questions for the brother? Otherwise, I posted the link to you guys out there, right, in YouTube land. If you want to jump in when we're offline and come in and have great conversations and really learn about Kemet itself, really learn about, you know, the grammar, just go through all of that, right? Come on in, speak to the linguist himself, Netcha Neb, representing the Per-Netcha Research Institute, or the Per-Netcha Research Center, sorry, let me get it correct. Yeah. So yeah, you got about 5 seconds to open up your mics. Any one of you two.
Yes, brother. Kalam, you hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Cool. I just wanted to speak to Neb. Neb, this is another topic that, we've spoken about a few times, me and the brother. Well, we've mentioned it. We haven't really gone into it. I just wanted to get your understanding on the whole, if you have any information on the connection between ancient Kemet and West Africa, more time being Nigeria, obviously, because that's where I'm from. If you have any information or anything that you can share on the whole, if there's any connection between ancient Kemet and West Africa and Nigeria.
Oh yes, West Africans are Egyptians. West Africans are direct Kemetio. The West African people, which is a lot of them variated throughout Africa, and their language has already been compared by Dr. Jope and Dr. Theophile Benga. So Yoruba will fall under this class. Douala, in my language of Bamileke, which I'm a Bamileke, my descendants are from Cameroon. And Dr. Jope compared Douala and Wolof, his native language, and it shows that the West Africans within that language system is genetically related to the Medu Neter. Actually, the Bantu people are people of Kemet. So,
okay. And also, I would like to say, I don't know if you heard of a person from the Yoruba tribe, Odudua. Have you heard of him?
Nope, I never heard of that.
You haven't heard of Odudua?
No.
Oh wow, I think that would be I think he would be something that you should look into. So Odudua is obviously known in the.
My brother has, but I don't. He's not hearing you. He's not hearing. He's not registering with the pronunciation that you're saying, basically. But I know he's heard of Odudua. But anyways, continue. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He must. Yeah, Odudua. So you ever heard of the myth? The myth story of Odudua, the one of the great ancestors that came and brought the Yoruba language to the people, and that supposedly he came from East Africa, the Kemet region. You haven't heard of it?
No, you can continue. I'm listening now. I'm learning.
Oh, sugar. Continue. Yeah. I was just asking to see if you had any information that, because obviously in the Yoruba traditions we have in Ogun State, we have museums and stuff dealing with Odudua, and especially the Yoruba people. Odudua is our great ancestors that came over to the area and brought the Yoruba language. And it's funny because when our family members of the people in Nigeria speak of him, they say that supposedly he came from the area Kemet, from East Africa, and traveled over to I don't know the ancient name for Nigeria back then, and he's the one that formulated the Yoruba language. So I thought maybe you might have had some information, or maybe you can check up some stuff on it. That'd be good.
Yeah, I am now. I love that. Thank you for putting me. I actually didn't know about it. I study more of Dogon traditions, Ifa of Igbo in Yoruba, Ifa,
Yeah.
Ifa, or Walla farming traditions and spirituality. Like the instance of people calling themselves black. People say, why would Africans call themselves black and they are black? You know, that's kind of like, you know, a weird question because in every African traditional system I studied, they called themselves black. For instance, in Yoruba, you mentioned about Adadua. That sounds kind of like similar to a Dudu, which being black in Yoruba, and Adula Awo mean human that is black in Yoruba. So people ask, why would blacks call themselves black? Well, in the African system, like Yoruba, like you mentioned in Aduduwa, if I'm pronouncing it right, it's similar in phonetics with Dudu, which mean black, and in Yoruba, Adulawo, which mean human that is black.
Oh,
So
wow.
we've been describing ourselves as black in every major African traditional system and culture.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I'm actually glad now that I mentioned that. And if you didn't know about it, yeah, I would definitely like obviously someone like you because you deal with the linguists and you know you do all your comparing in your studies. For you to hopefully look into that, look into him and see what new information you can bring up and probably draw some more connections because as far as I'm aware and from what I know from being over there and what you know that they have in the museums, yeah, he's the great ancestors that came over that brought the Yoruba language, and you know they say that he came over from Kemet. So
What's his name mean?
Oduduwa,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. Actually, let me look it up. Kalam, have you got the Kalam, you there? Can you
Hey,
do if you
can
do
I share my screen?
share your screen? Yeah, share your screen. Yeah, because I was gonna ask Kalam to. Yeah, share your screen.
Okay. Y'all see this?
Yeah.
So these are three texts that I have that I study on a regular basis, and I compared these texts with Medu traditions.
Okay.
And this is the Conversations with Ogatameli and Introduction to Dogon Religious Ideas by Grauli. Reason why this text is important is because Grauli actually went to Dogon country and recorded empirical data.
Okay.
So he actually learned from them. The second book is Orisha Devotion as a Word Religion, the globalization of Yoruba religious culture. So this deals with the Orisha system in Yoruba and how they use certain things as well. And the third one is After God is the Bed. It's from Professor Ume, who is a Igbo initiate. And he actually wrote his text in regards to people. Now, reason why I'm bringing this up because we're talking about African traditional systems.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing people in the community, they state that why would Africans call themselves black? And I always, refer them to these texts. And this is a religious system that is deep within their system. So their skin complexion was part of their religious system. You know, so I would explain it like that. Now, if we go to the Dogon one, and if we look at the artifacts of Kemet, we notice that they use black, dark Kim complexion, and they use a reddish brown complexion in majority of their scenes when they are in groups.
Yeah.
Or even regions. So we know that they use black and red calmly as color complexions in Kemet. Now, we can compare these with the African traditional systems. And I'm going to read out the book, page 80, this text, in which it talks about the black complexion and it talks about the red complexion Africans. So if we look at Kemet from an African worldview, now we begin to understand the color system, because they will have a color system geared towards the languages they are genetically related to. Like Dogon Tomo So, we proved the genetic relationship with Medu Neter. So why not, look into that traditional system? So here on your right, it states, later on in the invented the blue-black color for the paw of the dead, which was wrapped around Libi, the first ancestor. They settled on blue-black as the color nearest to coal, which itself resembles the color of men's skins. In the past, however, men were called Banu, that is red, which is what they still call light-colored skins. But they were also thinking of the smith's skin, blackened as it was by coal dust. Page 80. So Africans that have a genetic relationship with Medu Neter, and their language is related to the Medu Neter hieroglyphs itself, the grammar in every way, phonology and morphology. If we check the oral traditions, that oral traditions explain the symbolism. So we see that they settle on a blue-black, which is I told people that Kim doesn't just mean strictly black. It can mean something that is dark as well. Anything that's dark or black. It could be dark green. It could be dark blue. It will be considered a black type of color, a Kim color. So it says they settled on blue-black. Now this is from the blue-black color for the paw of the dead. This is symbolism. The paw of the dead is the ancestors. We find this similar in the pyramid text. In the pyramid text, it talk about it when Kim elevates the deity or ancestor Shu. Shu was the first ancestor. Now Libi is the first ancestor here, but Shu is the first ancestor in the pyramid text, which is Old Egyptian. Now black is connected to Libi in Dogon, and black is connected to Shu in the pyramid text. Now it says that it's wrapped around the body of Libi. So some type of blackness painting or whatever they are considering in that symbolism is beyond my reach. But I'm only focusing on what is said. And they said they settled on a blue-black as the color nearest to coal. So they took that color and put it to coal. That's why Dr. Joe, when he did a linguistic analysis on Kim, he stated that it goes back to charcoal. Okay. Now it says, as the color nearest to coal, which itself resembles the color of men's skins. So now they putting the color comparing it to men's skin. The color that they normally see, which is dark hue, dark skin, dark brownish skin, dark black skin. What we consider black, we just say black of something that's very dark. I consider myself a black person, even though I'm brown. It's the same symbolism, the same type of thing that we do today. We might be brown skinned, but I damn sure, Bamileke, I'll call myself black. And we call ourselves black in the Bamileke language as well. So now we see the reasons where the black and red is originating from. Is not originating from a Eurocentric view. Is originated from an African IFA system view. Now, then they go on to mention coal is nearest to the color of man's skin. Okay. In the past, however, men were called Banu, red, which they still call light-colored skin. So this is the contrast beginning with people. They call dark people that's nearest to coal black, and they call the people that are brown skin and lighter Banu, red. This color system is a African traditional system. Now you see my arrow. Well, here, Dogon, I'll move it up. Dogon Tomoso, Nidi Gim, black person. This is now found in the language of Dogon. Gim is also a root word for charcoal in Dogon Tomoso. So it's Gimili. Gimili is charred, burnt, coal. Then you have Gim, meaning black. Nidi Gim, which is a adjective modifier, modifying the noun, calling it black person. So people are asking ridiculous questions stating, why would other Africans call themselves black? That's something you would have to travel to Africa and you had to ask these black Africans themselves. Why do you call yourself black? Right? So let's go to number 2. African traditional systems, Afa, Igbo. In here it says they call themselves Mbarya Obashi, family of blacks, black family, Ethiopian. This is from another initiate in a separate system, and they are calling themselves black within divination Ifa systems. And they say the Ifa word for Obashi is Obasi, which is the Ifa word for it, meaning black. So they have traditional symbolism of why they are naming themselves black, and the importance of their skin being a symbolism of power and authority. So now we go to Orisha. I like this. This reminds me of the coal demonstration. In the Orisha, this in Ifa is one of the most important pieces of Ifa. It's called the Ikin. Notice it's similar to Kim, which means black stone, material, mineral. And this is close semantically to a black stone mineral. It's still like a stone-like, but it's a nut and it's dark black, right? Now you have these palm nuts are a shiny black or a very dark black like color. These traditional Ifa divination pieces inspired an attribute of blackness. When dark complexioned children are called a Dubi Ifa, black as the Ikin of Ifa. Blackness in this case, as many other cases across Africa, have inherited the epithet of blackness in regards to blackness as a meaning within African traditional systems. So people are still looking at asking silly questions. Why did they call themselves black? They called themselves black because blackness represented a symbolism within their African traditional system as other African systems. So in Yoruba, here, Ifa, when a child is born have dark skin, they're called a Dubi Ifa, black as the Ikin, because these palm nuts, black palm nuts, are called Ikin. So we can go to material, right? Material is always the best. Look at this material here. This is a West African textile painting from Baman, which is Nigeria, in that region. Look at this painting closely. Look at the colors. Look at how they color the population, okay? They color the population, the typical red and black. The red is symbolization of lighter skinned Africans, simply. And the black is a symbolism of dark skinned Africans. They might not be exactly this color, but this is the color range that was explained in the Dogon. So this is another African group that's painting the black and red color symbolism in their art.
That's big, man. That's serious.
Now we have West African Benin textiles using black and red. Now look at this one. I'll make it bigger. Look at this. This represents skin color. So they are depicting themselves, fighting themselves black and you have the red, brown. Sometimes the brown wins, depending on the king, and sometimes the red wins, depending on the king. You have two groups going to war, red and brown. They're using the same color symbolism as the Medu Neter ancient Kemetic. Right? Here is a Medu Neter painting. On the left, you have a red, brownish color system with the black hair. And you know this color represents skin because look how they colored the cow lad. They used black, didn't they? See? They used identical black. They are painting the color in identical to what exactly exists. So these two beautiful Egyptian sisters looking beautiful in dark, right, has black skin. And we go to another Dahomey West African textile, and we find that the color black and red is used to describe themselves in other African groups of Africa. And this is identical to West African textiles of black and red. This color sequence is seen all through Africa. Now we can go here. Now look at this one. This is Dr. Obenga recommendation. Dr. Obenga stated that the Saharan people also use black and red to describe the people of the African community as well as other colors. So here again, we find the cow painted the exact color of the cow. So we know we're talking about a black type of bull. They know what they're painting. So they painted themselves black using the color in the Sahara, and they painted red on purpose, brown on purpose, because other cows are painted red and they knew the color to choose to be exact. So here it goes, I'll blow it up. They also use the black and red. We have again black and red African tribes in the Sahara. And this always represents the whole of the community, because black folks are not just dark skinned. We are variated of different colors. So black and red would be the perfect contrast to represent an entirety of a black race. So people saying we didn't call ourselves black is ridiculous. We see it in the African systems. We see it in the West African art. We see it in the Saharan art, the Medu Neter art. Here is Queen Amos painted jet black. Sometimes she's brown, but she's majority jet black. You hear brown. Now on here, you have a different African group paying homage, and they are painted brown, and the skin is painted black. There shouldn't be no reason why people you conquered or groups that's donating to you should have a special, anything special. So they are describing particular their actual skin color as close as possible. You have Tomb of Kagimni, which is in stone. You find dark black Africans and brown, the same color system. This is a whole Egyptian group fishing in the Tomb of Kagimni. And on your right, you have some Nubians with the feather of Shu. And you have two dark-skinned Africans with brown, one brown, dark-skinned, and another brown-skinned African. These groups of colors of black and red are colors within the African traditional system. So here, a region, this represents an entire region. When we translate the glyphs here, Cha, Shema, which the Shema, got the Nut, upper community, upper region, upper community. Upper Egyptians, that's what they say. They use a euphemism of Egyptian. Painted dark, which would be a Kim. Look at this. Kim can mean to be dark. It's polysemous. It can have a multiple meaning of black, dark. However, we find that this is a Kim. He's dark, to be dark. Hair, Afroid, from a region. So they are painting he's a rebel Egyptian. He's from the Upper Egyptian region. He's an Upper Egyptian. Here you have Northern, which is Lower Egyptian. Ta Miho with the Nut, lower community. He's painted with a reddish color, brown color, indicating that he's of the lighter hue, like the Dogon tradition stated. So we find on this side the same color system in art of reddish, brownish type color with the dark, explaining phenotype. The Kemetic did the same color schemes to themselves as other African groups. Here again, I'll blow this up. This is from the KV11 tomb. This says Retch or Remech with the deity, symbolizing their rank. The plural strokes, this means Egyptian. So they painted themselves jet black, and you see the arrow painting to this black and red demonstration of the Nubians. And the Nubians stated themselves that they are black Nubians and you have red Nubians. I asked Dr. Sati, who's a linguistic professor from Nubia, he stated that these black and same reddish light skin color system exists today. It existed in historical time and it exists today. So this reddish hair, where we see this reddish hair from? Watch this. Look at this reddish hair. Watch this, y'all. Look at that reddish hair here. Look. These people are the same exact people. And this brother would be considered a Kim. The black painting you see to describe him means Kim, dark, black. All of these brothers would be considered Kim. The whole upper region was considered Kim because they painted the rebellious Egyptians, Upper Egyptians, as Kim. In the Table of Nations, they represented themselves as jet black. This is a collection. All right, so this is an Egyptian painted jet black. This is an Egyptian painted jet black, right? This is a African painted jet black. This is a Nubian painted jet black. This is West African textiles painted jet black. This is a upper region, Upper Egyptian painted dark brown. This represents phenotype.
Yeah, man, that's big. You still there, Nep?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's big, man. That's big. Do you know what I wanted you to do, actually? If you still got your screen share, I just wanted you to type up the name Odudua, so at least you know the name and you can check it up, so you can have a look on it, maybe on the wiki or something. If you could.
I see. Oh, yeah. Okay. And his crown is similar to a Nubian crown.
Oh, can you see it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The bronze head. He's painted black as well.
Could you do the screen share on that?
Sure. Yep. He's painted black. Wow. All right, let me, how can I get it? Okay. right, let's see if I can share it. Oh man. Okay, I'll share this then. So you see it now?
There you go.
Right. Let's go. Let's see. Yep. The crown looks like a snake. I'm not sure. I'm not going to guess, but it's, you saying that he's from over the east, that just confirms Dr. Jope's analysis, brother. And this should be you should be documenting your work, writing them down, and documenting your discoveries, because anything you know can help. And we all in this battle of our reconstructing our history.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad and I don't know if you got the if you type him up on Google, I don't know if you do the wiki. If you just look on the wiki, I just want you to just look at a rough bit of his name. You know what he mentioned of him. Did you? Yeah. You got the wiki search.
So you still see my screen share or no?
Nah, it's come off.
All right.
Also, a question from Rock City, New York. You just said, Gabs, what is this brother's name, and does he have a channel? So I think that's for you, brother, Net and Neb.
Yeah, I have a channel called Per Nature Research Center. Just type in Nature Neb in some of my work. It's gonna just look up Per Nature, PRNTR Research Center, and of course support Titans TV. That's it. Let's see. So stop sharing, or what you want me to look up here?
Yeah, I just wanted you to read a bit on him. Do you see a bit on him? Is that what's come up? Yeah.
Yep, I see it. Anything you want me to look up?
Yeah. If you just go to the top, let me see what the top. You see they got a shrine there for. Yeah, just to read the top bit. If you see, you know, to read the first paragraph where it mentions of him.
Yeah, you can go ahead and read, brother.
Oh, I can't even see. You know, your screen is kind of. Could you zoom in?
Yeah. Let me see. You see it?
Okay, there you go. Just a bit. Yeah. So it says, Oduduwa was not only the first ruler of unified Ife, I think that's Ife, but also the progenitor of various independent royal dynasties in Yorubaland, and today is venerated as the hero, the warrior, the leader, and the father of the Yoruba race. Through war, through war and many years, Oduduwa was able to defeat the forces of the 13 indigenous communities of Ife, led by Obatala, and formed these communities into a single Ife state. He held the praise names Olofin, was that Odumila, Olofin Aye, and Olefie. His name, phenotypically written by Yoruba language speakers as Oduduwa, and sometimes, let's say, contracted, yeah? Yeah, contracted as Oduduwa. Or no, Udua, or Udua, yeah? Is generally ascribed to ancestral dynasties of Yoruba land because he is held by the Yoruba to have been the ancestor of their numerous crown kings. Following his what's that? Deification, he was admitted to the Yoruba pantheon as an aspect of a primordial divinity of the same name. See? So I don't know. Hopefully, brother, I don't know. Maybe when you could check up on this brother, see some of the stuff. I know they got some museums, they got a lot of artifacts and stuff on him. You could probably check out what some of the myths people saying, telling that he came from the east.
There's no doubt that Yoruba. I'm gonna tell you in linguistics, if you connect a language with another language, scientifically, you are proving that the culture are genetically related to each other as well. So if Obenga proved the Yoruba and Medu Neter linguistically, then that culture is related, and you're showing how. Even when you explain, when they explain the 13 communities in a war and dynasties, it's similar in how Nama had to go to war with the different communities to unify it. So these stories, man, are within the oral traditions and should be documented.
Oh, so that's weird. So you're saying King what? So King Nama, he went to war with 13 dynasties?
No, he went to war with other tribes.
Yeah.
You look on the Nomus palette, you see other tribes paying homage, and he unified. Well, he's the suspected ruler and unifier of Kemet. And we see all on archaic artifacts how they had different gnomes. Then you had the gnomes. You had different communities. So I'm saying that you see a correlation of how they view the different communities of one system.
Well, yeah, I need to get more into that, man. I think there's a lot of hidden history and stuff connecting West Africa to Kemet and stuff that people haven't really delved into as much.
Right.
Because a lot of people do always say, why do you guys always deal with Kemet, Egypt, and not really talk about other places in Africa? But that's because a lot of the information with other tribes is like it's not really presented as much. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the stuff that you're talking about, like Dogon tribe and all these different things, these are the things that people need to hear a bit more about, showing the dots and the connection between the African tribes and stuff, and where the people of Kemet moved out to. Because a lot of people just think here, I know a lot of people just think, especially people that we get on Titans TV, they think that the ancient Kemet people, I think they just think that they just disappeared. Like nobody know where they went. Because they say, the language can't be deciphered. The people is gone. Like, I think they just think the people from ancient Kemet just disappeared off the face of the planet. Like, nobody knows exactly where they went. They just mixed out, and the languages died, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? What do you think on that?
No, they still exist today through war. War can damage a country through wars, repopulation, subjugation, oppression. Is a lot of the Islamic oppression in them states. They still exist. I work with a Kemetic, an indigenous of Khartoum. Kemetic stated that they were from Nubia in inscriptions. The inscriptions speak that they state that they are from Wawat, Nubia. So they are stating that they are Nubians. Their ancestors are from Nubia, or Tasseti. Tasseti is the oldest archaic name. And these African folks are me and you today. When I did my bloodline went to Bamileke. Bamileke, when I compared the culture, every aspect of the culture is genetically related with Medu Neter, even to the buildings of having large statues, buildings, art, the collars, the dress, the name, font. Font is the P and F and N and R interchange. So a fawn can be per animal, certain basic vocabulary that proves a genetic relationship and not borrowing. So these African, the oral traditions of the Bamileke, they state that they are from Upper Kemet.
Oh, sorry to cut you. For the audience, let them know the Bamileke. What in modern terms? What area? What state or country in West Africa is that?
Cameroon.
Okay, so there, just for the people to know. Yeah, go on, brother.
So the Bamileke people, they state I compared their language of Madumba, and you know the Medu say Medu, and they say Madumba. So everything is, similar, and proving a linguistic connection, which the Yoruba has already been proven, man, in the 1970s, brother.
Yeah.
We just got to come up to the information that already been done. Is for a fact that we are within the communities of Kemet. We are the Kemet too. These are facts. Our languages speak for itself, our culture, our African traditions, the symbolism, the color systems, the numbers, body parts being compared. I compared every facet, the sun, how they viewed, the clouds, the sky, the ground, bones, rocks, minerals, plants, food. I compare all those terms, and all those terms are genetically related with Dogon, Dinka, the Coptic folks, and even Somalian in the Hausa. All of these tribes are genetically related to the Medu.
Okay. One question I wanted to ask as well.
Hold on. No, I need to close. I need to sleep, my brothers.
Yeah,
trust me. It's gone way beyond. Yeah. So let me shut down the show here, and then you guys can carry on, speaking off air. All right. So family, peace and love. I'm gonna catch you guys later on. Actually, you know what? I don't want to close down the show like that. I'm just gonna close down the tab. So in the next 5 minutes, it will go off air.
Okay.
All right. So peace and love, family. Peace and love.
Peace, Kalam.
Peace.
Peace, Kalam.
Yes. Omar, is there anything that you wanted to throw in?
Nah, man, I'm just sitting back, one. This is just a sit back one, and just bare information, though. It's hard to keep up, but yeah. It's the West African thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Looks like the thing Neb. I think he might have come off as well. It's just me. It's just me and you in the abyss, bro, in the darkness. You see it on the screen.
Yeah. See that.
In the void, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've just been looking at what everyone's been saying in the chat. What's everybody saying? Everybody in the chat. Did everyone in the chat, did you enjoy Brother Net and Neb sharing some of his information? Give a throw up some ones if you like the information from Net and Neb. Something different, man.
Yeah.
Something different instead of going into this whole religion stuff, man.
I hear that.
Well, do you know what? I'm glad, because this is what I've been saying. Someone like Neb, you need to utilize those type of people that come on, because where he's a linguist and he knows he knows the Medu Neter, he knows most of the languages in West Africa. It's good to get the questions in, because then it helps to connect the dots. Do you know what I mean? Because Kalam, we've been skating around the whole West Africa Kemet thing. A lot of brothers at the park used to get us and ridicule us. Certain brothers used to be like, "No, man, you West Africans, man, you guys ain't Kemets. You guys, why you lot begging Egypt? You're not the ones. You're not the ones." But then now, look, the brothers clearly showing and proving you through language, culture, rocks, body, everything, showing you that we are the same people. That's the connection. It's proven. It's facts. It's not belief or myth. Do you know what I mean? And these are the things that we need to start getting into, because I damn well sure know that the powers that be know this. They know, but it's just us just fighting ourselves, trying to understand whether it's us or not. We're battling ourselves. We're always too quick to argue against ourselves, to say, no, we ain't those people, we ain't that, we ain't this, we ain't that. But yeah, other people, that they know, they know the facts, man. Trust me.
Yeah, man. It's for me to see you know, when I think of, when I look at, like, from science point of view, yeah, we look at, okay, we can study civilizations, the nature of civilizations, yeah, they rise and they fall, you know, consistently. And for me, when you start seeing certain things that are like you can actually look at with your own eyes, artifacts, even pyramids, if not even more so pyramids, you can tell now from that there's they definitely had roads and stuff like that. You ain't gonna have a thing like that, yeah, and it's all like, you know what I mean?
So
It's gonna be civilized to another level where we can even see, like, in Mayans, and we can see in Egypt how they had, like, crops and certain things like that in certain areas, like water flow and all these filtration systems and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah.
So from that now, let's look at the nature of civilizations. People travel.
Yeah.
Telling me, man, ain't just like, come on, bro. It'll be dumb to think anything else. Like, man, are just in a spot, just not even like moving from his drum and like his little, you know what I mean? We get to thinking like dumb shit because it's been put in our head.
Yeah.
It's what we've seen on telly. So we're thinking every man back then is just like, do you feel me? Like just living in a straw hut or something, just banging a drum or some dumb shit.
Yeah, I think I think it's these also these invisible borders that's been created nowadays, which they
okay, you're right. You just unblocked another chain that was in my head. That was, even now I'm thinking like crossing them shits weren't even there.
Yeah, they weren't there, bro. It's these invisible things that they make people believe, and these invisible barriers and stuff that they put around different countries and state make you believe that, yeah, okay, these people just stayed within this perimeter and this, but when you go to Africa, you don't see these lines, bro. These invisible lines that you see on the maps and all these things where people say, yep, this is Ghana, this is Cameroon, bro. These wasn't there how many thousands of years ago, bro? Do you know what I mean? People was, hence why people was look how